greatness. You look into my eyes, you can see what I see. If you can say the world won't be the same without me, then we call that greatness. And that's a blessing. But wait a second. Look, while we on the subject, let me ask a question.
Hello and welcome to the Uzzi Sports Show. I'm Jared Veluzzi, and today's guest, Kyle Messina, in the class of 2025, Mr. Do-It-All at Sayville High School. Kyle, thank you so much for being here, man.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate you having me.
And Kyle, your freshman year was one for the history books in some people's eyes. I mean, it's not often you have a freshman being considered for the Hansen Award. And let's kind of rewind a little bit. Going into your freshman year, I mean, what was really the plan? I mean, because you were pretty much everywhere. Like, what was the plan for them to utilize you going into the season?
I mean, to be honest, I didn't even know what I was gonna do. I mean, I was kind of everywhere, like a little bit quarterback, even receiver, running back. So I thought maybe I'd be getting like 5 carries a game. Like if people were tired, then they'd put me in. Like they just throw me out there. So I wasn't expecting too much. I mean, definitely not the season I had, but also like a part of me, like the summer when I wasn't really getting the first all reps, stuff like that. Like I kind of knew I was more than that. And I knew I was working hard to get there. So yeah, it was definitely a little bit surprising, I'm not gonna lie, the season. So even the kids on the team would say I thought you were just gonna be a third down back, something like that. Like we did not see this coming.
Yeah, and I mean, after that, like obviously, like you said, you had an amazing season, but in the middle of it, I believe you guys are either 4-0 or 5-0. You guys have East Islip coming up on the schedule last year, and a lot of people were kind of like looking at that game. We're like, okay, now we're gonna really know if this kid Messina can actually play against like an elite team like EI. And I mean, you come out 250 plus yards, 4 TDs, winning Tri-State Player of the Week. I mean, just take me through that performance, man.
I mean, yeah, even like watching film that whole week, stuff like that. I was a little nervous. I was like, I mean, these kids are pretty good. Like I haven't really been tested yet. And then there was stuff going on social media. I was getting scared. I was getting nervous. But then my team was there just to tell me they had my back. So I just let's go out there. Let's just have a good game, have a fun time. And then kind of during the game, and we had a pretty rough start. And then I was just like, all right, we got to turn this up. And then I kind of just locked in from there. And then it was homecoming. So, and part of me was just taken away by everything there. But yeah, no, it was a nerve wracking week leading up to that game. And it was exciting.
Yeah, and with that entire freshman year, would you kind of say that like the Sayville tradition and like the past teams that have come through the program and all these older guys kind of really helped you towards a successful year?
I mean, yeah, definitely. Even I mean, my whole life, even when I was younger playing PAL and stuff, it's just always my motivation was just to do everything for this community and this tradition. And I mean, every time you put on that jersey and you look down and you see Sable, it's just you're playing for something bigger than yourself. It's just there's just no better feeling than playing for this town because this community has really just given me everything I could have ever asked for. And you got some of these big games, you got so many people that just played. Even the dads, they went through Sable, they played Sable football. Every breakfast we had, they're giving speeches about their time in Sable football. So yeah, it's all great.
Yeah, no, I mean, Sayville's certainly an amazing football community. And after making an appearance in the Suffolk County title, I mean, how has this summer been with you guys grinding and everything, getting ready for the upcoming year?
I mean, everyone has a lot of motivation. Since the night of that game, the picture of the score has been my background on my phone. So I mean, I'm not letting myself forget about that. I'm coming for revenge this year because I mean that game I've watched the tape hundreds of times. It eats at me every single day. There's not a day goes by where I don't think about that game, that one play where I fumbled. So it's just I know I have to try and let it go. Some people would say, but I'm not forgetting about it.
Yeah, no, I can't wait until you get a chance to play against East Islip again this year. But also throughout this summer, how's the process been with recruiting, college interest, and some of the camps you've been to?
I mean, yes, definitely some colleges have reached out, stuff like that. Nothing like too major, like obviously no offers, stuff like that. But I've talked to like a bunch of coaches, like on Twitter, stuff like that, stuff little, just a lot of camp invites. So I've been try to go to those camps and stuff. I mean, right now I'm not really too focused on that. I got a lot of time, so I'm just gonna try to win the Long Island Championship and then see where college goes from here.
And going into your sophomore year, what's kind of one element of your game that you really think that you can take to the next level that people and college coaches should really look out for in your sophomore year?
I mean, I'd probably say my speed. Like last year, I mean, I worked pretty hard like that off season, but I never really like lifted any weights, stuff like that. So like I've gotten my legs a lot stronger. I've gotten a lot stronger this off season. I put on like 15, 20 pounds. So I definitely say I got a lot faster. I feel a lot faster. So I think like even watching like my highlights now, I'm like, how did I not score a touchdown on this? Like I need to just have that breakaway speed now. And I feel like that if I see an opening this year, I'll be gone.
Yeah, I mean, certainly I really can't wait to see your speed in action. That's going to be awesome. But also that speed on the defensive end, because, everyone, talks about your ability as a running back and when you have the ball in your hands. But what do you think you're really going to bring to the team defensively?
I mean, I've always my whole life I've been like more of a defensive player. Like I've always loved defense like even more. And like if people ask me like what I'm excited for this year, like I want to play defense so bad. Like I'm so excited to play linebacker. So I feel like I'll bring like a quick but like hard hitting linebacker to this defense this year. And I mean we got a good linebacker group this year. We got some young guys, but obviously we have Benny Sands who I mean he's a really good linebacker. I haven't seen someone with like that football IQ in a while. I mean he's the way he comes downhill and like just can read everything. It's good to have him because he can coach me a little bit.
Yeah, you mentioned Benny Sands, an elite player. He was all state last year. Who are some of the other guys that are going to be some returning contributors to this squad?
I mean, obviously we don't have too many. We lost a lot, but we got some of our O line. They were juniors last year, so I'd say like 4 or 5 O linemen are coming back, and I mean all our skills guys. We have like Anthony Morioni. He's a shifty receiver. So I mean, yeah, we do have a young team, but I feel like everyone's prepared. We got a new quarterback this year, so it's going to be exciting to see. But I feel like the veterans, you could say, are just going to lead the way and just like help these young guys out, and we'll be good.
Yeah, and I was looking at your guys' schedule actually, and in past years, Suffolk Conference 3, of course, you have East Islip, West Hampton in the years past, but for this upcoming season, there's been a lot of hype around Deer Park, and I noticed that you have them early on in September. I mean, how excited are you to go against the Falcons in a big early season primetime matchup?
Yeah, I know. I mean, that's week 2, so it is early. I mean, I can't even remember that. I could be wrong, but I feel like Sable doesn't really play Deer Park that much. So I mean, I don't know too much about them at all. Like, I mean, I've heard they have like a lot of athletes, obviously, but yeah. I mean, I'm really excited. I want to see what they're all about. So yeah, we'll find out.
Yeah, and earlier in this interview, I mean, we were talking about the offseason. You mentioned your phone background was the East Islip score from the championship game. And of course, you're playing against the Redmen. So, I mean, how excited are you for the big Suffolk County title rematch?
I mean, I'm really excited. I got a lot of respect for that East Islip team and like that whole program. I mean, you never really have a problem when you're playing them with like dirty players and stuff like that. And they're all so nice, but when it comes down to it, they're a rival. So I'll respect you, but I won't like you. So I mean, and obviously we know what happened in the SEC, and so yeah, I mean, all that motivation just wants me to get revenge on them.
Yeah, that game is going to be certainly special. But of course, when it comes to your schedule, you're playing against Suffolk Conference 3 schools, of course. But that one question I'm going to ask, if you could add a game on your schedule against any team, Long Island, New York City, private, public, whatever you want, who are you picking and why?
I mean, this is a tough question because you could go with like a Division 1 team. I mean, even Division 2 in Suffolk counties, like they got a really some good teams. But I feel like I don't want to go with like a Catholic team because obviously Sable beat Floyd. We've already proven that. So I'd maybe say like St. Anthony's, like a team like that. I mean, I would love it. I know that it probably wouldn't happen, but I mean, if that would happen, I'd be really excited for that. And I think that would be a really fun game with a lot of people there.
Oh, that game would be special. I mean, we're talking, one of the most explosive offenses within Sayville. And I mean, also one of the most explosive offenses within St. Anthony's. So, I mean, that game would be special. But Kyle, thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate it, man.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate you too.
Everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Jared Veluzzi. Have a good one.